Hey guys, Janus here. Hope everyone had a fun weekend. I was doing a lot of work. Today, I'd like to talk about my core philosophy, the belief that exists at the core of my work. Before that, though, I'd like to make a public announcement as it comes pretty close to the issues at hand, actually centers around them, really. Earlier this week, I was banned from the subreddit community A Jelk for You for calling into question both the safety and efficacy of traditional PE methods. As many of you are well aware, there is no love lost between myself and traditional methods. I not only view most of them as blatantly dangerous, but depressingly misguided as a whole. Whether the discussion at hand pertains to clamping protocols, jelking, static stretching, or devices, I leave no question about my thoughts on the topic, and my thoughts are that PE as a whole needs a massive overhaul. Because of that singular fact, I've been banned from every major PE forum in North America and parts of Europe. Likewise, men that have come to adopt my views have also found themselves cyberstalked by moderators and admins, even so far as to follow them to other websites, had their posts removed or locked, been subjected to ridicule, and eventually summarily banned, just like me. So, why? Why am I so outspoken against traditional methods? What view do I hold at my core that leads me to act this way, leads me to willingly subject myself to name-calling by strangers, threats by moderators and site owners, and public defamation by the opposition? It's a fair question. The answer lies in bodybuilding, and it is perhaps the most simplistic lesson that the discipline has to teach. Exercise your muscles. There's nothing complicated about that. It's incredibly straightforward. There's no talk about deforming their tendons, ligaments, fascia, or trying to encourage structural weakness in any shape or form. They care exclusively about maximizing muscle gains, improving their strength, keeping their ligaments and tendons strong, and eating enormous amounts of food, as I've covered before. Yet, when you step onto just about any PE forum on the net, you will find moderators and site owners, for that matter, openly encouraging the exact opposite of those practices, blatantly and openly encouraging men to essentially try and mangle their wrappings and oh so important connective tissues, and in most of those cases to great detriment to the functionality of their sexual organs. The amount of injuries that come out of traditional method-based PE routines is, well, it's downright prolific. On a daily basis, I am messaged by men that have been marred and disfigured by things like static stretching, jelking, clamping, hanging, extending, etc. And there are two very big and various obvious reasons for those injuries. The first to be flawed approaches, and the second would be an incorrect focus. Let's look at the core philosophy of bodybuilding again, the widely successful emphasis on stimulating the muscle tissue to make muscle gains. What bodybuilding teaches is that by challenging your muscles, not connective tissues, but muscles, by making them contract against increasingly heavier loads, you will cause them to grow, repeatedly grow with repeated instances. Yet, despite this wildly successful core belief of bodybuilding, if you were to dissect a muscle belly, you would find a staggering amount of connective tissue. Quite literally, around every single muscle fibril is a fascial wrapping. Then around several fibrils, we have yet again another layer of fascial wrappings. Then around several of those bundles of muscle fibrils, we have yet more fascia. And finally, around the whole of the muscle belly, we have even more fascia. Despite the incredible amount of connective tissue that exists within a muscle belly, it doesn't seem to stop anyone from getting skin-splitting muscle pumps, adding inches of mass to their muscle bellies, or successfully achieving near godlike physiques. No troubles. And do you know why? I do. Because connective tissue is designed to grow when the cells within their embrace grow. We grow from the inside out. When a bodybuilder stimulates muscle tissue and the cells within that tissue begin to grow, those very same cells help to break down and remodulate their connective tissue wrappings, their protective coatings. Getting a bit abstract, bodybuilding's intrinsic lesson is that growth must come from within, and yet, despite success, the wildly overwhelming success of that core belief, in the realms of PE, we find that tried and true lesson turned on its head. We find men overridingly trying to mangle, destroy, or weaken connective tissue, and all but completely ignore vascular tissue, the muscle tissue of the male member. We find men trying to make their sexual organs larger to the detriment of its health and functionality. And yes, I've got a big problem with that. And if you're watching this video, I bet you do too. Just to recap, summarize it all up, I have a problem with traditional methods on a whole because they fly in the face of everything I know. Its methodology demands growth from the outside in, that if you expand or otherwise grow the connective tissue that constrains the penis, that somehow, almost like magic, the body will fill in that empty space with mass, that the male member is just a flesh balloon by all accounts, and it just doesn't work like that. Because if it did, PE would be just as wildly popular and successful as bodybuilding, and it's just not. Growth happens from the inside out, and that is why I place such a large emphasis on stimulating the vascular tissue of the male member, growing from the inside out. Why I focus on making gains from the inside out. Well guys, that's it for this week's video. Janus out.